Everybody, my name's Claire from Rainbow Acrylics. Welcome back. I am loving using my new colour scheme at the moment, which is purples and turquoises, gold and pearl white. Absolutely beautiful colours. So I've decided to mix up some paints and do a straight pour with those colours. Quite a large canvas. Just be so interesting to see how the colours mix and work together as a straight pour. So let me show you the colours I'm using. I'm feeling so inspired by these colours at the moment, all mixed, ready to go. They are gorgeous together. So turquoises, purples, gold, bronze and white. So let me go through what I've got. So 3 Amsterdam, so white, phthalo blue, Prussian blue phthalo, bronze. Then 2 Daler Rowney colours, phthalo turquoise and deep violet. The deep violet is there. I've added a little bit of white because I'd like it to look dark, but it will darken as it dries. So I've added white just to allow for the darkening so it's not too dark. And then 3 Pebeo Studio acrylics. I've got this one here, which is Oriental Violet, but I've added some white again. So it's lighter at the moment, and then as it dries, it will darken to be, I think, more similar to this colour. Then I've got the iridescent green, blue, and the gold. So I've mixed all of the colours with my PVA glue pouring medium. I'll put the recipe for that and the recipe for these mixtures in the video description. I'm going to layer up a pint cup. This is the order that I've chosen. So I've tried to mix up the dark and light colours. I've tried to mix up the metallic with the non-metallic colours just to create some contrast in the painting. So let me just try and show you, not with the gold, with the purple, the consistency of this paint. So it's pretty thick. It leaves a trail, it leaves a mound. Let's show you with, maybe that would be easier for you to see with the purple. Quite thick. So the reason this is quite thick is that when I then pour the cup out, they're less likely to mix. If I make the paints too thick, as I pour out this cup, it will just come out in clumps. So it needs to be runny enough to flow, but thick enough to try and keep the colours separate so that they don't mix too much. So this is the order, but I'm just going to add just a little bit of white first, just a tiny bit of white right in this at the beginning, because the colour that I put in first is the colour that will come out last. So that will create the very centre of the puddle. So I'm now going to start with my order. Big difference with this pour is I'm going to do thicker layers. For some reason, I have it in my mind that I have to do really thin layers of each colour. And I think that really contributes to the mixing of the paints. So I'm going to try thicker layers. So more colour, more of each paint in each layer. Right, that is looking pretty. It's a lot quicker to layer up a cup when you do thicker layers. So I'm worried I've made the layers too thick, but it'd just be really good to test this out to see what thicker layers do. This canvas is an A2 size, which is 42 by 59 centimetres, so a reasonably large canvas. I'm going to put a puddle of the white down in the centre, so that's what I'm going to pour into, and that would just help this paint to move a bit and to flow. So I'll just roll that round a little bit just to get a bit of coverage. So as I pour into that puddle, it should push the white out. I don't think it will go all the way. I think the colour will go over it, but right. Let's see what happens. I'm excited to try this. I'm excited for these colours. So I'm going to pour it out. I poured the paint in down here, so I'm going to pour out from there. It's going to be a straight pour. So what I will probably end up doing is twisting around a little bit just to get some variation. In fact, if I start at this angle here, and then I'll be able to twist all the way around here and then probably back again. So here it goes. I'm just going to pour right to the end, get as much paint out as I can, because I know that there's that little tiny bit of white in the centre, and it's coming out now. It's quite subtle, but I'd quite like to get some of that white coming through. I didn't put very much in though, so it's not going to be a lot. Got it. Wow. Can you see in that cup? It's beautiful. Right, I am really, really happy. So often when I do a straight pour, at this point, I've got beautiful colours one side, but a muddier colour the other side. And I don't have that at all. And I think it's because of my thick layers. There's some amazing details in here. I guess one downside of the thicker layers is you can see a very solid block of the bronze in there. But I don't think that matters. It's not too much. Right, I'm going to burst some air bubbles. So I deliberately mixed these paints yesterday to try and remove a lot of the air bubbles. But I still mixed them again this morning because I just want to make sure they hadn't thickened up. But with a straight pour, I quite like the effect of air bubbles because it creates little cells, little speckles, as long as I torch it now. If I torch it once I've tilted it out, I tend to find it's you get little speckles there. They just don't look as nice. So I'm quite happy to torch now and get what looks like lots of little cells appearing. Right, I'm going to put down some flow extender. So I'm going to just put down one of the colours now, just around the edge. So when I tilt this, it's got something to push against. I'm going to put the gold down, I think. Right, so let's get tilting. I think to start with, all I'm going to do is just try and stretch it out. So I don't plan on going off any edges at the moment. I'm just going to just stretch this out as much as I can. You can see the flow extender working there because it's not really rolling over itself. It is slightly. I've just lost that green line at the edge, but not too much. So it just pushes against the gold. It doesn't roll over on the dry canvas. Yeah, I think to preserve this beautiful pattern, I think I'm going to put more flow extender down. I think it needs to be thicker. Actually, that's very thin compared to the puddle, so I think it is still rolling over. So I'm going to go for more flow extender. I think I'm just going to cover the whole canvas. Right, let's just continue. Right, I'm going to start going off over the edge now. The weight of the paint is up here, so I'm going to come off over these two corners. In fact, the weight is here, so it would make sense. Let's go off over that corner first. Right, it's changed a lot. I'm not so happy now with the centre. So I think the key maybe is to put less or thinner layers in the centre of the cup and then thicker around the edge. Because I just feel there's a little bit too much of that central design. I may tilt it off. I'm just having a think about what I'd like to do. I may tilt some of it off just to improve the composition. But then it does definitely add a focal point to this painting. I'm going to try and go diagonally for a second. I'm not so keen on that bronze bit either at the bottom. I like that more now. So that central part is obviously even larger, but somehow composition wise that just works better. I think I'm actually happier now. So here it is. I've been umming and ahhing about what to do with this, whether to leave it, whether I like it, or whether I should do another puddle over the top. I've decided I'm going to leave it because the colours, as I know, will darken, and I think that would just give some really beautiful contrast. The central section is really unusual, but it does really add a good focal point to the painting. But I just think as that purple in the centre darkens, as it dries, I think it will. I think I like it more. It's not what I was expecting. It's not what I was wanting. But I think as it dries, I will actually like it more. So I'm going to leave it. So let me show you close up now. So here the colours are gorgeous. So you've got the purple and the turquoise, which are just an amazing colour combination. And you've got little ripples there of the bronze and then the gold. The balance of white is brilliant. I've ruined paintings before by just adding equal layers of white or too much white, and it just ruins them. It's just too white. You've got a paler section here. I guess this would be the slightly muddier section, but actually it's not. And as I said, I think that's because I used much thicker layers of paint. I still need just to fix my corners. But it just is beautiful over the edges. I love straight pours, how they run beautifully over the edges of the canvas. I think that's such a special feature of one of these pours, that it's just a continuation around the edge of the canvas. And then there's just some amazing details. I've got a lot of air bubbles still, which I'm surprised, as I said, because I mixed the paints yesterday. There's still a lot of speckles. I don't think it particularly matters. But here you get such a sense of the transparency of the paint. So you've got the purple underneath and then the gold and the white on top. So I think I'm happy, but I will let you know for sure once it's dry. So it's now dry. Against all the odds, I absolutely love it. I was so nervous about that central section. I thought it dominated, and it does, but that's just the composition of it. I'm really happy because this dark purple has dried darker. So I think instead of just being a mass of what was gold or white, you've got the contrast more. And also it's totally, I'll show you close up first. It's totally different in different lights. So there it's just totally gold. And I think that's what I was seeing, too much gold. But actually in other lights, can you see now it's purple? It's absolutely fascinating. So gold and then purple, and I think it's the purple that I'm really happy with. I like it like this, where you can see the purple. So it's such an unusual composition. Let me show you up close the colours. I just don't think you can go wrong with purple and turquoise. I absolutely love this colour combination. So the lines are just amazing. There is detail everywhere. It's definitely quite a crazy one because you're not quite sure where to look first. And then the gold and the white there, I think just what a wonderful contrast with the purple and the turquoise. And then you've got these wonderful gold flecks throughout the pattern. And then it just gets a bit simpler towards the edge, just more natural, slightly more muted colours towards the edge, but just such amazing lines. I mean, if you just look up really, really close, how many lines can you see? It's just amazing. So I absolutely love it. I really wasn't sure when it was wet. Now it's dry. I am so happy with it. So thank you so much for watching. Please do hit the thumbs up button if you like it. Please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.